MacVoices is supported by ATTO, the power behind the storage, providing network and storage connectivity for Mac users for more than 30 years. Visit atto.com to learn more. MacVoices is in San Jose for AltConf and WWDC. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, I ran into Kendall, who we talked to quite some time ago. At that point, he was an AltConf volunteer, a little more than a volunteer, actually, Kendall, and now he's just an attendee. It's good to see you again.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great to be back. It's been I hadn't been to WWDC for a few years, so it's nice to really be back in the area and just see all the people and especially all the excitement. It's been a great year for WWDC this year, it seems like, especially.
So has it been that long since we talked? A few years?
Yes, it's been at least 3 or 4 years, I think, maybe longer.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah.
Wow. Time flies.
Yeah.
So at that time, as I believe you were volunteer coordinator for AltConf.
Right, exactly. I was the volunteer coordinator for AltConf, so I helped manage that. But then after a while, just other things kind of get on with life. And so then a great person, Anna, took over volunteer coordinator for AltConf for me, and she's been doing a great job ever since then. And she's helping manage it this year. And AltConf continues to be an awesome conference to attend. And so that's why I'm back now as a hero supporter this year, even though I'm unfortunately, I don't have really the time to do volunteering myself this year, but I'm just glad to help AltConf in whatever way I can, because I really enjoy it and like this conference. And
well, I think it says a whole lot about AltConf that you were a volunteer for all those years. Now you're coming back as an attendee to enjoy it from a different perspective. Right,
exactly, yeah, and it's so worth coming here, I think, just anyway, and I'm glad to be able to come back and enjoy the conference a little more directly now than I was. Sometimes before, I couldn't really experience much of the conference, so it's nice to be able to actually experience the whole conference for myself as well.
So what are you doing now?
So I had been an independent iOS consultant, basically, ever since the release of the App Store, but I just switched to a company called Nami ML. And what we do is we do kind of a cloud-based, cloud and privacy-based solution for helping app developers provide paywalls for their application for in-app purchases or subscriptions. And so we kind of provide a kind of layers from a wrapper around StoreKit all the way up to helping define paywalls on the cloud that can kind of deliver to the app according to your needs. So you can quickly change out payment offers or pricing or things like that and try out different things without having to change some stuff in your app. Usually paywalls are kind of the least focused on parts of the app. It gets kind of done once and then they just kind of get left forever. And we provide a way to make that way more dynamic. And then on top of that, we have a machine learning aspect too, where we try and figure out what, for the people that have actually bought subscriptions or in-app purchases for your app, what has led them to make that? Like, what were they doing through your app across time that made them actually interested in purchasing? And we can then help provide in the future kind of understand when is the appropriate time to bring up this request. It's really like it's kind of a personal thing to a user, an app user. All of a sudden this request comes up, interrupts what they're doing with the app. We're trying to help figure out how to make that the best possible time so it's actually like pleasant for the user to say, oh yes, I would love to support this app. This is a great time right now. I've been using it for a bit. I'm doing all these fun things in it. I would love to pay for this app right now.
So you're one of the ones responsible for the pop-ups after I've been using an app that says, yeah, would you like to support this app?
Right, exactly. And so that we're trying to make that way better, because we know right now that those pop-up experiences are generally quite terrible. I mean, I have so many examples of just the worst timing when like requests for ratings and for payment have come up. Sometimes right when you launch an app, right after you've bought it, this thing comes up and it wants you to buy right away. It just is so off-putting, And so, and I'm sure that people lose a lot of sales. That's why conversion rates are generally terrible, because it just can often happen at such a bad time. And so we want to just make that better somehow, even if it's incrementally, just start moving that forward, but again in a way that doesn't sell out the user, because some solutions for apps making money focus on getting personal information from the user, and we're trying to find a better way just to make the payment request to actually just really buy the app useful and practical in a way that we're not gathering personal information, we're not trying to sell anything, aspects of the user, so we're helping protect them as well. So make it better for the app developers and for the users of the app too.
So with your system, are you tying to other payment systems? Let's just say MasterCard, Visa, or do you handle it top to bottom?
It's completely around StoreKit actually. So we're just trying to help make StoreKit way better in terms of we're trying to help app developers work with StoreKit, and we're trying to help just present offers in a better way around StoreKit and make that kind of more flexible for that. But it's all based around the Apple payment system. So we're not working with any other payment systems, just within the Apple kind of ecosystem for payments, because that's really the easiest flow for users, is that they want to be able to just pay with Apple because it's so simple and everything's set up for them. And so we're just kind of working right now within that realm.
That's great, because I mean, what we heard at the keynote was a lot of privacy and security, and that just means you're tying into that automatically.
Right, exactly. I mean, and we had this. It was great to hear that from Apple, and they've been really saying stuff like that for a long time, especially this year, like you said, they've done so much around it with the login with Apple and all this other amazing stuff they've done around privacy, and so that is very exciting to us, because that's really like a core fundamental goal of even why they started this company. It was started by Joe Pizzillo and Dan Burkha, who started some other companies, including Push.io, but they had been doing some stuff, and they really got kind of fed up with the whole world around mobile marketing and trying to, like I said, kind of gather data on people. And so really the formation of the company even was focused around trying to present a better way that protected user privacy and gave some path where you could actually respect your users but still get payment from them and try and do that. So that's the goal.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because you're right. The pop-ups right now, I mean, they serve their purpose, but off-putting is a really good word. Yeah, because you don't want to say annoying, because it's not necessarily annoying. But yeah, it's like, right, I just bought this, or I just downloaded this app. I have no idea whether I want to support it or not.
Right, and even just the timing. For example, one thing I could mention, I was at a theme park and I was using their app to try and enter the theme park, and right as I'm about to approach the gates, all of a sudden, whoa, pop-up request for a thing, and I just like, no, I need to be able to use you to get into this thing. And so just like invariably, every time those things come up, it's just been terrible. And so we want to make that, like I said, just nice. A nice time when it comes up and you're excited that this request to help out the app publisher has come along, because you want to help them out, because the app users, like, they love using the apps, and you just want to find a time that it's nice for them to get this little request and you can help them out, and then everyone's happy about it. So yeah,
exactly. The website of the company is
it's www.nami.ml. And so you can kind of check that out. We're going to general release a little bit later this summer, but there's information now that you can find on it. And we're also requesting feedback, too, around what people would like in this regard.
So if I sign up with Nami, I want to make sure I say it right. If I sign up with Nami, am I able to at this point, am I in beta testing, or can I actually deploy it?
It's kind of a beta test at the moment. We actually have not even quite released the SDK. Probably in a little while we'll be releasing the SDK sometime after WWDC. We didn't want to release something during WWDC because there's so much stuff from Apple to look at. We thought it would be kind of nicer maybe, look at it in a little while, and then it would be in beta for a little while. But we're hoping that people can start deploying it fairly quickly, and we want to make that happen as quickly as possible ourselves, of course. And so yeah, we would like to just have anyone come and join in. And
well, it's good to get in on the ground floor and see if it fits.
Yep, exactly, and that'll help drive our direction somewhat too. If you get in a bit early, we're very flexible and we're trying to decide directions, but we have an idea of how this will work, and so we want to definitely talk with app developers around the best flow and how we can make this as good as possible. So.
Kendall, I hope it's not so long till we see each other again. I mean, I can't believe it.
I'll be back regularly from this point onward for at least a few more years. So I really enjoyed, like I said, coming again, and so I'll make it a habit again to come back.
Well, find me, because I'll be right here.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Thanks. You too.
Folks, we'll have more from San Jose. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.